Now at 5, authorities in Joplin investigate the cause of an overnight fire at a tire center. Plus, businesses around Pittsburgh take part in the annual Paint the Town Red event. And
a late-night DOJ filing reveals new details about the investigation into former President Trump's handling of classified material. I'm Natalie Brand. How it signals a possible case of obstruction.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Joplin tire store is heavily damaged after an overnight fire. This is KOAM News at 5. Authorities are investigating the cause of the fire at Ozarko Tire Center behind the Pilot Travel Plaza. MoDOT temporarily shut down a portion of Highway 43 near I-44 overnight as crews battled that fire. Employees say there were more than 1,000 new tires in the warehouse. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another great day for us today. Mostly sunny skies across the region and temperatures pretty good. Once again, we have mostly sunny skies, just a few little clouds once you get down in the northeastern parts of Texas. But here's a weak upper level wave, and this is going to actually start to head toward us late tomorrow evening, and then into tomorrow night. So we will have to introduce some chances for showers, even a few thunderstorms. Upper 80s on the Missouri side, then you hit 90s out to mid 90s once you get into our western counties. Through the evening hours, we slip back through the 80s, 70s, 60s, down to about 66 for an overnight low tonight. Of course, we'll look at those rain chances here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Businesses in Pittsburgh have decorated their storefronts for a Paint the Town Red event. Judges announced the best decorations for each category earlier. The community favorite vote for the best one is still going on until tomorrow morning. According to Pitt State, decorating the town with the university colors and logos is a great way to welcome the alumni for the first home game of the season tomorrow.
Tomorrow there will be thousands of alumni rolling into town from Kansas City, Wichita, really all over the Midwest. So it's great for them to be able to see all these decorations and all the festivities.
The season opener game is going to kick off at 7 p.m. tomorrow. The public is welcome to join the Gorilla Fest celebration tomorrow at 4 behind the stadium. The Disabled American Veterans of Joplin organization is looking for new volunteers. Officials say they're in need of drivers to help drive military veterans to the hospital and their medical appointments.
Well, it's always a need for more volunteers. People are busy and they have things, and COVID really did take a hit on our volunteer drivers, and we're looking to get more because the need is there. We have lots of veterans in the community that are needing to get to their medical appointments, and our volunteers are the ones that get them there.
Crabtree says volunteers do not have to be veterans themselves. All they need is a driver's license and a willing heart to help. A U.S. Department of Justice legal filing late last night has shed new light on the materials seized from former President Donald Trump's Florida home earlier this month, as well as what led up to the FBI search. The filing comes as a federal judge in Florida weighs whether to grant a request from the Trump legal team to appoint a neutral party to review the documents. Reporter Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
In an explosive new court filing, the Justice Department included this photo of classified documents, some clearly marked secret and top secret, seized in the August 8th search of former President Trump's Florida residence. The court filing also spelled out a possible case for obstruction of justice, raising questions about the Trump team's assertions that they had returned all classified material months before the FBI search. The DOJ says it developed evidence that government records were likely concealed and removed from the storage room, and that efforts were likely taken to obstruct the government's investigation.
This pleading gives a lot of details about the obstruction investigation, not only against the target of their investigation, but also as to other individuals who may have been assisting the target of their investigation.
The filing came in response to the Trump legal team's request for an independent attorney or special master to review the seized documents. A federal judge in Florida has scheduled a hearing for Thursday.
Federal prosecutors vehemently argued against the appointment of a special master in the filing, saying it's unnecessary and would harm national security interests.
The Department of Justice did a very good job to fight back and refute any sort of need for a special master to review for executive privilege.
My father-in-law has said he has nothing to hide. He did nothing wrong.
Wednesday, the former president again said on his social media platform that he declassified the documents. But DOJ officials pushed back, arguing Trump's representatives didn't assert that he had declassified the documents when they returned some of them in June. And they say the presidential records do not belong to him. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
The DOJ also argues that if a special master is appointed, he or she should be restricted to only assessing the former president's claims of attorney-client privilege. The Trump team faces a deadline later today to file its response. New York City's famed Times Square has now been designated a gun-free zone. It's in response to the Supreme Court's ruling overturning the state's century-old concealed carry law that made it difficult for most people to get legal permits to carry concealed weapons. Law enforcement officers will still be allowed to carry guns in the square. The Department of Defense has listed climate change as a national security threat and is now taking steps to reduce its carbon footprint. The U.S. Army was first to unveil a sweeping climate strategy earlier this year, including a plan to build a microgrid on every base by 2035. The Army is also targeting 2030 for a 50% reduction in net greenhouse gas pollution and net zero emissions by 2050. Still, a shortage of an important piece of athletic equipment.
To get a hold of football helmets, which are in short supply. I'm Wendy Gillette. I'll explain why it's happening.
Also ahead in Health Watch, the FDA approves a new variant-specific COVID-19 vaccine booster. Topping today's Health Watch, Friday is the last day Americans will be able to order free COVID-19 rapid tests through the covidtest.gov site. The White House says it's suspending the federal program run in coordination with the Postal Service because of a lack of funding from Congress. The FDA has authorized new COVID-19 booster doses, the first that target the highly contagious Omicron strain. That's the most common strain in circulation right now. The hope is that they'll be effective at preventing a predicted winter surge. Nancy Chen reports from New York.
Newly formulated COVID-19 booster shots could be available in just a matter of days after the FDA gave its authorization Wednesday.
I will be at the front of the line at the pharmacy getting my vaccination. I'm very confident about this.
Pfizer and Moderna's updated boosters are known as bivalent vaccines. They combine components from the original vaccine with components designed to target the widely circulating Omicron subvariants BA4 and BA5.
The hope here is that by increasing the amount of antibodies we have to that particular variant, we will restore the kind of protection that we had when we first saw these vaccines launched and hopefully stave off the coming wave of COVID-19 predicted by scientific models.
Moderna's booster is for Americans 18 and older. Pfizer's for 12 and older. People could get either booster just 2 months after receiving their last shot of the COVID vaccine.
The FDA authorized the new formulations without waiting for the results from human clinical trials. But health experts argue the process is no different than what they do for other vaccines.
While we have little safety data, just like the flu shot comes out every year, and it really is tested as we give it, we're going to do the same here. So we think it's close enough to the original COVID-19 vaccine. It's the same outer shell, slightly different spike protein, that it is going to be safe.
The CDC still needs to sign off, but once the modified boosters are available, the FDA says you can get them at the same time as your annual flu shot. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Pfizer plans to submit a request to the FDA in October for giving the new booster to children as young as 5 years old. Law enforcement officials are warning about a recent dangerous opioid trend. It's called rainbow fentanyl, and there's a major concern about dealers using it to target teens. The U.S. Department of Justice says they're seeing rainbow fentanyl in two forms: powder that looks like sidewalk chalk and brightly colored pills. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we got an animal fun fact about catfish.
Plus some rain chances back in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, it turned out to be a nice day for us today. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures right around 90 for afternoon highs. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Looks good. A few mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming in, but overall looking pretty good across the region. All right, temperatures upper 80s on the Missouri side. Oklahoma and Kansas, you creep into the 90s, actually mid 90s. Once you get out across our western counties. So it's hot. It's not super humid, which is good. Sitting at 90, northerly winds at about 5 to 10, humidity is pretty low at about 29%. As we go through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 80s, 70s into the 60s. Overnight low of 66. We'll have partly cloudy skies. Clouds are going to thicken just a little bit for us later on tonight. We have clear skies now, but you can see a few clouds down through northeastern parts of Oklahoma. In fact, if we zoom out, we got a weak wave up across parts of Nebraska, and then also this upper level wave down through parts of Texas, and even a few showers right through central Oklahoma. So this is a very weak upper level wave. It's been kind of drifting toward the west, and then it's going to get picked up and pushed in by the time we head into the daytime hours for us on Thursday. So we are going to have these mid and upper level clouds increasing. Here's midnight. We're going to be dry. We'll be down into the 60s. Still mostly cloudy skies by morning. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning as we go through the morning hours. A lot of clouds. We warm up quickly into the mid 80s by the time we head into the afternoon. And then by 6:30, we'll start to see a few scattered showers popping up northeastern parts of Oklahoma into southwest Missouri. These are going to be very hit and miss, but we are going to have a few of them starting to get going and kind of flaring up as we go through the evening hours. So here's 9 p.m. scattered showers, a few random little thunderstorms, and then just kind of hit and miss showers as we go through the night. 11:30, the better chances for rain are going to be south of I-44, complex kind of pushing east as we get into Friday morning. So we are going to have these scattered showers across the region. The farther south you live, the better chance to get a few showers popping up. Even on Friday afternoon, still some scattered showers and thunderstorms trying to pop up, and then we'll have to watch another little complex dropping in by Saturday morning. So we do have our chances as we go through the next few days. 66 to start, 87 by noon, high of 88 by 5, high of 91 with those hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. In fact, if we look at our rain chances, you can see them kind of going up, isolated showers. So there's 7 p.m. on Thursday, and those hit and miss showers lasting through the daytime hours on Friday. 91 tomorrow, 89 Friday. Scattered thunderstorm chances again on Saturday. This is the holiday weekend. Most of Sunday looks dry. Most of Monday looks dry. A little bit cooler. Highs into the mid 80s by Labor Day, kind of dodging showers and thunderstorms.
We need the rain.
We do.
If we'd rather not be on a holiday weekend.
That's true.
Thanks, Don. Coming up, details on a shortage of football helmets. First, though, we recognize a local World War II veteran. Patrick Diskin trained to be a belly gunner in the U.S. Navy Air Force. His hometown, St. Paul, Kansas. And we're proud to salute Seaman First Class Patrick Diskin, a four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a new government report indicates it's still a booming U.S. job market. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the number of open positions nationwide rose in July after slipping the 3 previous months. The report says 11.2 million jobs were open at the end of July. On average, that's nearly 2 for every unemployed American. On Friday, the government releases its monthly unemployment report for August. Gas prices go down, consumer confidence goes up, at least for now. The Conference Board's report for consumer attitudes rose to 103.2 for the month of August. That's compared to July's 95.3 score. The findings say Americans are slightly more optimistic about their financial situations. Economists say lower prices at the pump are a major factor. The supply chain crisis is now extending to the high school gridiron. Teams don't have enough helmets as the football season gets underway. Reporter Wendy Gillette talked to coaches and players trying to make do with what they have.
Wide receiver Drew Cortese is wearing a helmet that doesn't quite fit.
I was given a large helmet, but the issue was that it was too big and it would wobble around. Like when I tackle, it like move a lot.
The Irvington High School football player who had a concussion last season would rather have a medium, but there are none left. And when practice started this season, not everyone had a helmet.
Everybody else was doing things with pads or helmets when you couldn't because there wasn't enough for all of us.
This team and other high school football programs across the country are feeling the impact of the global supply chain crisis.
So how big of a problem has this been?
This has been a pretty significant problem for our program. We have roughly 40 players on our team, and we don't have enough helmets for every player. So we've had to dip down into our 7th and 8th grade team supply.
Blue 80 hot! It's the same situation at Walpole High School outside Boston.
Our reps that we're buying the helmets from, and they're probably getting a text or an email a day from all these coaches. You know, I just sent one an hour ago. It's any updates, and there's nothing yet.
Only 2 companies make these helmets, and they're not cheap, running anywhere from $300 to $1,000 a piece.
The companies have been honest and upfront with telling us that they're not getting the clips and the interior padding of the helmets because of the supply chain. And even when they are getting helmets ready, the supply chain is taking forever to get those helmets out to the schools.
1, 2, 3, go! A new order of helmets should be delivered to the Irvington Bulldogs sometime this season. They hope. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Irvington, New York.
Earlier this month, Riddell, one of the largest helmet makers, said most backlogged orders of helmets would ship by the end of August, with the rest arriving in September. A Northern California tech startup is trying to hit the big time with a little help for those endless video conference calls. The pandemic-inspired Mute Me button connects to your computer and is compatible with Zoom, Skype, and Google Teams. The company's co-founder says Mute Me has made more than $1 million in sales running out of a home garage. Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at new technology allowing you to operate digital devices with your mind. Then on KOAM News at 6, authorities in southwest Missouri recovered the body of a southeast Kansas man who drowned in a lake. Plus, how flash flooding in parts of the Ozarks have impacted people's cars. And we're going to hear from the Carl Junction football team ahead of their home opener against Webb City. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Now, like cats, catfish have whiskers, but not all whiskers are created equal. Dr. Eva Dudek has a fun fact for us about catfish.
A lot like a cat, catfish whiskers do help the catfish feel around in the bottom murky, dark pond and lake so they can get around a lot easier. But unlike a cat, these whiskers are made of skin, not hair, and they actually smell and taste through these things. So they actually help the catfish find food.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have one, you just send it to PetVet at KOAMTV.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. And you can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen this adult female domestic short hair named Baker. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have this 4-year-old male terrier pit bull mix. His name is Ronald. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? It's going to be hot, but not hotter than you would expect for this time of year for the coming days.
No, it looks pretty good. Upper 80s, lower 90s, 91 for us tomorrow. We are going to get a few showers, a few little scattered thunder showers in here by evening into the overnight hours tomorrow night. And they just kind of hit and miss Friday and then again on Saturday, lasting through the holiday weekend, but a little bit cooler, highs into the 80s for the first week of September.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.